They'll tell you to wait your turn, but they'll never hand it to you. Machiavelli said it best. Power isn't given, it's taken. And in today's world, that truth is more dangerous than ever. We live in a world obsessed with fairness. Wait your turn, be good, play nice. But history and power don't work like that. Vladimir Putin was a no-name bureaucrat. Elon Musk was mocked for buying a dying social media app. But both men seized control in ways so calculated, so silent, they seemed like accidents. They weren't. They followed a principle written 500 years ago. It is better to be feared than loved if one cannot be both. This is Machiavellian psychology, and today we'll show you how it works, not in theory, but through real people who bent the world to their will. This isn't just history. It's a manual for those who refuse to be ruled. Most people think power is earned. Be talented, be kind, be patient, and eventually someone will notice. But Machiavelli saw through the lie. He believed power was an illusion carefully staged by those who already have it, and the only way to get it, take it from them. He wrote The Prince not for kings, but for ambitious outsiders, people without legacy, without bloodlines, people like you. And he warned, the promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present. In simple terms, people pretend to be fair, honest, and democratic until it threatens their power. Then they become exactly what they claim to hate. So what do? You don't wait for power to be handed down. You study how it's built, and you learn how to take it. Russia, 1999. The Soviet Union had fallen. The economy was shattered, and President Boris Yeltsin needed a quiet successor, someone who wouldn't turn on him. He picked a quiet former KGB officer named Vladimir Putin. At the time, most Russians didn't even know his name, but Putin knew what they didn't. He was already moving the chess pieces. He took control of national television. He installed loyalists in key offices. Opponents started vanishing, some jailed, some simply disappeared. And when Chechnya exploded in war, Putin used it. He framed himself as a strongman, a protector of Russian strength. His approval ratings skyrocketed. By the time Yeltsin resigned, Putin wasn't just ready, he was inevitable. 2 decades later, he's rewritten the Constitution. He controls the courts, the media, and the military. There are elections, but only one real choice. This isn't just dictatorship, it's Machiavellian mastery. He used chaos to climb. He wore the mask of humility until the mask wasn't needed. He never waited for permission. He took control before anyone realized they had a choice. Now let's talk about Elon Musk. In 2022, he began buying shares in Twitter, quietly, without warning. At first, no one paid attention. He posted memes. He joked. People thought he was just trolling. But soon, he made an offer to buy all of Twitter. Executives laughed. The board resisted. So Musk pulled out. He let chaos brew. The stock dropped. Employees panicked. The board lost leverage. And then, he re-entered the deal. This time, on his terms. He fired top execs on day one. He walked into the building carrying a sink, tweeting, "Let that sink in." He rebranded the platform to X and began reshaping it in his image. Whether you love him or hate him, understand this. Elon didn't wait for permission. He didn't ask for approval. He used pressure, public manipulation, and power. Exactly how Machiavelli would have done it. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. That's the game Musk played. He looked like a clown until the world realized they were working for the king. So, what do these men have in common? They weren't handed power. They positioned themselves to take it. That's the core of Machiavellian psychology. Control perception. Appear harmless until you're ready to strike. Exploit fear. People obey what they fear more than what they admire. Use chaos. Crisis makes the bold look like saviors. Break promises, only if breaking them protects your position. The truth? Nice people finish last because they wait, they trust, they believe merit wins. But power is a game of moves, not morals. And if you want to survive it, you must know the rules. This doesn't mean becoming a tyrant. It means seeing through illusions, learning when to wait and when to strike. Because if you don't use dark psychology, someone else will use it on you. Putin, Musk. But they're not the only ones. Oprah Winfrey took control of her own show in the 80s, owning her name and building a billion-dollar empire. Jeff Bezos turned a small online bookstore into a global empire, not by waiting, but by eliminating competition and owning infrastructure. Jay-Z didn't just rap, he bought labels, negotiated equity, and became a kingmaker. What do they all have in common? They didn't ask, they didn't wait. They acted decisively, quietly, ruthlessly. Machiavelli warned, "It is much more secure to be feared than loved if one must choose." In truth, the world doesn't reward the kindest. It rewards the most prepared. So ask yourself, are you waiting for permission to lead? Or are you building the leverage to take control? Because in the end, power isn't given, it's taken. If this made you see power differently, you're not alone. Hit subscribe for more brutal truths they don't want you to know.